Jesus teaches that when we are insulted or abused, we ought to go an extra mile, not an infinite amount of miles, for someone who is taking advantage of us. First, consider the words of Jesus I referenced earlier. But I tell you, do not resist an evil person. If anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them the other cheek also. Matthew 5:39. This is probably the most popular verse used to justify pacifism. However, it's not necessary to jump to that extreme for several reasons. First of all, we must make sure to take this verse in context with the entire passage. The 5th chapter of Matthew, where this verse is found, records Jesus' famous Sermon on the Mount. One main point Jesus is trying to convey is that his followers ought to go beyond the letter of Israel's law in the name of love. Jesus teaches that when we are insulted or abused, we ought to go an extra mile, not an infinite amount of miles, for someone who is taking advantage of us. Moreover, we are told to pray for those who persecute us and to actually love our enemies. I like how gotquestions.org puts it. They note that Jesus' teachings here can be summed up by stating, we need to be pure inside and out, and should be as accommodating as possible for the sake of a lost world. They go on to say, to turn the other cheek does not imply pacifism, nor does it mean we place ourselves or others in mortal danger. Like the principle of the eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth in Matthew 5:38, turning the other cheek refers to personal retaliation, not criminal offenses or acts of military aggression. Clearly, Jesus did not mean to negate all God's laws and injunctions, protecting us against violent crime or invading armies. Rather, Jesus is speaking here of the principle of non-retaliation. So, it's not clear that we should infer from this verse that Jesus would disapprove of carrying a concealed weapon or using it in some extreme situations.